Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about beverages, meaning like coffee and electrolytes, and what I do when I'm sitting in a tree stand or if I'm doing a bunch of hiking. Uh, First off, bottle. This is a water bottle that you can get at a gas station, and the only thing that I do to it is I color the bottom black because it's like a real polished aluminum, and I'm afraid that when I'm drinking out of it, I'm like out here signaling the deer SOS or whatever. So I color the bottom of it black. I wish the whole thing was blacked out, but I mean, it's just a cheap free water bottle. It doesn't. It's got a really good thick plastic lid on it. It's reusable and it's light. I mean, this thing is air light, and it doesn't make that crinkly sound like the most water bottles now are so crinkly that they make a little bit of noise when you drink out of them. And I don't feel like carrying the weight of like a Nalgene bottle. Plus, a Nalgene bottle is way bigger in diameter. This one, it sets down in my backpack. It goes in the cup holder, and there's enough of it sticking out the top that I have something I can reach back and grab onto, and I can put it in my backpack without taking my backpack off. So it stays in my little outside thing, and when it's empty, it doesn't weigh anything, and I just carry it with me. If I wasn't going to use this, I would use an Nalgene bottle, or if I got in a bind and I got away from the house, you can buy these normally. If you can't find a gas station that has one of these, I would get just a plastic water bottle that was really thick plastic that doesn't crinkle. What I like about this one is it's got a wide mouth on it. So these packets that I put in there, they pour in there real easy. You can tear it off and you can pour it in there and it doesn't spill everywhere. So that kind of brings me to the packets. So that's my water bottle for like tree stand. Even when I'm camping, I just take one. There's usually one of these floating around in my truck. They make a white one and a black one. I get the black one when I go into Buc-ee's, or the gas station here in Palestine has them at some alkaline water. That's what that is. It's a path or pathway or something like that. But if you color the bottom black, you're not signaling everything when you're taking a drink out of it if something might happen to be watching you. These are the same way. These are liquid IV. So this is a Mountain Ops Ignite. It's got 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. I'll drink one of these if I don't do any coffee or any kind of caffeine. Usually I'll just sip on it throughout the day and I'll eat my lunch with it or whatever. So if I want caffeine, that's this one. And it's the Tiger's Blood flavor. As far as without caffeine, Pedialyte, and the best flavor is not the strawberry freeze. The best flavor is like Berry Blast. It's pretty good for getting electrolytes. They make Gatorade packets that look like this too. But I like the Pedialyte and Liquid IV a little bit better because they're designed for more electrolyte based, stuff that you need. So, and then emergency, the vitamin C. It just, I really only do the emergency if it's like if I feel cruddy, I feel like crap. I'll do this because I normally take a multivitamin or something like that. So I'm not usually worried too much about getting anything out of these except for just electrolytes. Because you'll get to walking, and or in my case, I was on a hunt last year where I was paddling a canoe, and I wouldn't even realize it, and I was getting really dehydrated. I was getting wasn't drinking enough water because I wasn't wanting to pack enough in there. So actually, I started taking 2 of these because I was doing a little bit of scouting, and I think paddling that canoe was just as bad on me as walking. So I guess what I could have done was take my water filter, and just filled it back up because I was paddling in a pretty clean river. But anyway, so if I was just going to sit in my tree stand, I would either drink regular old water, or if I just had to have some flavor, I would drink one of these. Or I really don't burn up a lot of electrolytes or sweat a lot when I'm sitting in a tree stand. But for hiking, I definitely don't just drink straight water. I put something in there I feel like I'm getting some benefit out of it. It's not real sugary. Um, I don't do the Gatorade or Powerade. I do these when in fresh water. And then I'll talk some more about coffee and put a couple videos in that I did on this one right here and a video about the AEROPRESS.
Okay, so remove the pouch, tear the sides, put the little wings over the cup, and I don't know, it's all right. 1 cup. This is Bold Awakening, the dark one. The only way I could get the regular one was to get in this pack, but for this being dark roast, I don't know. This is it's not very strong. It's kind of like drinking hot water or something. And it is hot. So yeah, probably won't do that. Just being honest. The idea, I mean, it's genius, but you got a little waste. You got to throw away that deal afterwards, and that creates trash. I don't know. I could see myself just using freeze-dried coffee. There's Folgers. There's I think it's like Juan Valdez or something. There's a couple brands that you can get at the grocery store. They're just freeze-dried coffee, and those do fine. They're take a scoop out and put it in your hot water. Those do fine. I don't want to get in a situation, or if I was truck camping and I knew I could be back in my truck, I would just use my AEROPRESS. AEROPRESS does fine, doesn't weigh anything. Taking this baggie of these things would be about like taking my AEROPRESS. But all right, so just as a little side note, I'm going to talk about coffee a little bit. Coffee is important to me. It makes me feel better. I like drinking it. It's a comfort thing. Some people don't even drink coffee whenever they're in the backcountry or hunting, backpacking. Last year, I went on a hunt where I used a canoe to get where I wanted to be at, and I was just sitting in a climbing stand. I was only walking a few yards from the canoe. I was going up and over a bank and hunting on the edge of a river. So weight wasn't an issue. And with weight not being an issue, and with me having to get out there and get up in my tree so early, I didn't want to drink my coffee in the dark. I was waiting. I was drinking my coffee at like 9 o'clock. I kind of spaced my snacks and meals out to keep me awake and keep me busy. So anyways, you're gonna take a filter, put it in this thing. This is an AEROPRESS. And I'll weigh it here in a second. That goes on there. Your grounds go in there. This goes on your cup, and this is your press right here. You press that down. This is not much coffee if you just do what they recommend. It comes a little scooper. I've gotten so accustomed to looking at how much is in there that I know. So find your favorite coffee and then find the amount that you want. So if you were taking this somewhere, and I'll weigh it in a second. If you were taking this somewhere, all you'd have to take would be this. It's plastic, weighs nothing, and your coffee. Because when you get up there, you're gonna filter your water, and you're gonna have some sort of jet bowl or something like that. Here at home, I use it every day because I got tired of cleaning a regular French press, and some of the other coffee things that I used to make coffee were just a pain in the butt to clean. Obviously, you could do the Keurig thing, but I'm kind of over that. So if you don't want to drink canned coffee, like the little Starbucks canned coffees, maybe I'll review those or something like that and throw that in here as a side when I'm doing the breakfast stuff. you can do the little packets of coffee flavored mocha things that they make. You clip the top of it and it goes in a water bottle. You shake it up. You could do that. For me, warm tea, warm coffee, warm fluids in me in the wintertime is better. On that bow hunt, I was drinking those cold nitro cold brews out of a can because I was just, it wasn't that cold. I mean, it was like 60 degrees. So anyways, I'll weigh this thing and tell you how much it weighs if you're for backpacking. So altogether, this thing weighs 6.45 ounces. So we'll say roughly 6.5 ounces, like this. And you can take some extra filters with you. Take a filter paper, take some more filter papers. 0.05 ounces, and that's probably like 10 of them. They're, you know, those are weight. I don't even include that. So you can take your filter paper, your press set up, and some coffee grounds, whatever coffee grounds weigh, and do your coffee that way in the backcountry. I got this, I think, on Amazon. It was a gift. Somebody in my family got this for me because they know I like coffee, and it has honestly become the #1 way that I make coffee. I make more coffee in that thing than any other way. Now, sometimes there's stuff you can't, you know, if I'm making a whole lot of coffee, I'll make it in my old French press, but there's a lot of messy cleanup with that thing. This, when you get done, you take this off in the trash and you push the press out and it pops out a little, you know, the coffee grounds are compacted into like a little plug or whatever. But so that's coffee. Went over the bar, and like I said, it's 4th of July, and I'm up before the family's up, so I thought I would talk about one of these bars, add in some coffee segment, and if I come across some other coffee substitutes, caffeine substitutes, I'll throw those in there. I've got some more bars that I'll try. I've got some more bag meals that I'll try. I don't know if it'll be today or not. It just depends on, you know, if I'm wanting to give up a good meal to try out a meal. So, but anyways, this is the first part on the breakfast stuff, and y'all saw the other part on the mountain. Some of the breakfast foods are going to be in the freeze-dried video. So I don't know what part this will be, if this is part 2 or part 3 or whatever, but that's coffee, and that's my take on if I had to make coffee in the backcountry. You're already going to have your stove. You're already going to have your jet bowl. So for 6.45 ounces, you can press out coffee too. And to me, I'll give up 6 ounces of something else to have some good coffee up there.
Okay, so that was me just talking a little bit about how I do coffee, and I probably won't use this. Just, it's a neat deal, like I said, man, it's genius. But for me, just trying to stay minimal trash, minimal stuff I'm carrying in, I'm probably going to do the AEROPRESS, because the only trash you have is a filter, coffee filter. That's it. Or I'll do one of these. So pour this over boiling water, and drink my coffee that way. The other thing is these deals. So I couldn't find the nitro cold brew, something like that, that is put out by Starbucks. But this was a Black Rifle, and I like these too. This is my favorite one, the espresso, but they make one, it's mocha, and I think they make another one. But I just get the espresso one. It tastes the best to me. It's got 200 milligrams of caffeine in this tiny little can. The other one is a regular can that Starbucks has, and it's black, nitro cold brew. So what I was doing last year was I was drinking these out of my tree stand. So I would put my snacks and stuff in my backpack, and then I would throw this in a Ziploc bag in my backpack. The Ziploc bag's important because the first day I didn't, and I got coffee inside one of the pockets. It was a rubberized pocket on my backpack. I have a waterproof backpack, so I was able to clean it out. But it took me, a roll of paper towels and a lot of soap and water to get where I couldn't smell that anymore in my backpack. So what I would do was, during parts of the day whenever there wasn't much action going on, I would get my backpack situated where I could use uh, the drink holder on one side or the other of my backpack, and I would crack this thing open, set it in there, and take sips out of it, and drink it just to kind of stay awake and get caffeine. And when I was done, you can kind of push in on these. If you push in from this way and then push in from this way, you can get it started, and it'll actually kind of crinkle up, put it back in a Ziploc, and put it in your bag. Because even though on that one that spilled, I thought I drank it all, I didn't drink every last drop. I don't know, somehow there was some hung in there. So finish drinking it, crumple it up where it's not going to make any noise, and put it in a Ziploc, seal it, and throw it back in your backpack, and then just change it out. I mean, I would change out what I was taking in my backpack every day. So that's how I was doing coffee in my tree stand, because I was having to, uh, I was going in several miles in a canoe, and then I was getting out and getting in my tree stand, and I really wouldn't even feel like, because of the exercise and because of how hard I was working to get back in there, and it was so hot, I wasn't really feeling like drinking any kind of hot coffee at 5 a.m. Normally, if it's, freezing cold, I'll drink coffee driving to where I'm going, or sitting at my truck, and then I'll take out. But in this case, it was just nice to have some coffee to sip on throughout the middle part of the day, and then I would eat my lunch and eat snacks, and then I would drink my water that I had. Usually not too much, because I was trying to keep from having to go and take a leak all the time when I was up in a tree. So that's how I do coffee. These things really cool, and it's probably not going to make it, but and one other thing about the freeze dried coffee, I didn't look, but I wish I could find, because I really like the Folgers freeze dried coffee, and I like the Juan Valdez freeze dried coffee. It's just good coffee to me, and I like it. I like it as much as I like these Starbucks, but Starbucks for the win, because they're in these little packets. Same with the electrolyte deals. Companies that can package their stuff in these little individual packets, I'm gonna use something like that every single time, because I'm already gonna have the water on me, and this just makes it easy to package when I put everything together. So the next part, I'm gonna do snacks and DIY stuff that you can make at home, and then I think I'm gonna have to have a last final, like a 4-part. The last part will just be the conclusion, which will be how I package a meal for if I'm going to sit all day versus how I package a meal if I'm going to walk around all day. So that's all I had to say about beverages. This is the next part will be just snacks, granola bars, and stuff you can make yourself. Thanks.